Now I get to do my favorite part of the week. I was just telling Lisa that last night I was on a Wine with Dave. If you guys haven't checked out Wine with Dave, it's Dave England of England Studios. And we were talking about like commitment to content. And he does this Wine with Dave. And he was like, yeah, we were talking about, how we could help each other in marketing and how his video and like studio capabilities might help some of my clients and how my email focus could help some of his clients. And he's like, oh, well, I do this show and maybe you'd like to be on the show. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. He's like, okay, well, how's next Wednesday at 9 o'clock? I'm like, well, I think I have a 10 o'clock client. So I'll move her up a little bit. We should be fine. He's like, okay, so da, 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 da. And then he said something about 9 p.m. I went, oh, 9 p.m. Like, I don't have a 10 p.m. client I have to move. Like, that was crazy. So I had to stay up late last night, and that was a day I wish I'd had mascara on. It was great, but it was so much fun. If you haven't checked out Wine with Dave, every Wednesday he has a different person. He does he starts off with like, did you know, like all these like random tips, like random facts, which I love random factoids. I'll tell you one. It was who's the slowest speaking state in the country and the fastest speaking state in the country. The slowest is Mississippi and the fastest is Oregon. And how would you know? Like I don't know. How would you know? I guess
the Oregon surprises me.
Right?
That would not have even entered my mind.
I know. Well, I actually don't know. I only know one person from Oregon and she wasn't a fast talker, or she isn't a fast talker.
Feels like it's a Seinfeld episode.
Oh, you're right. The soft talker. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for a digital marketing tip of the week. And this is right off a webinar that I did with Deb Gashel yesterday. We did a webinar on creating landing pages, and my goodness, Deb like broke it down so well. She schooled us on like what a landing page looks like and how it is. And if you don't know already, a landing page is a standalone page. It doesn't have your headers at the top. It doesn't have the footer at the bottom. The only thing a landing page does is instruct the person who's landed there to take one action. Sign up for your freebie, sign up for your workshop, sign up for a free consultation. It's a standalone page. So Deb did a fantastic job laying all that out. And then what I wanted to say today to anybody who's listening and thinking about, oh, I really need to grow my list. And if you're not thinking that, it's probably you might want to. Growing your list right now is more important than ever because of how busy and loud and chaotic social media is. And I know people are like, oh, I don't want to bother people in their inbox or all the things. Oh, maybe later if I have a time, I'll tell you a story about somebody who said that to me. And then yesterday was like, I can't believe this happened because she sent out an email. So do it, like do your list growth however you need to do it. So if you have a landing page, okay, it's there. Then you need to make sure that people find it to take so that they can even have an opportunity to take the action. So where are you going to put it? Well, of course, you're going to make sure that it's on your website someplace, sign up for my new workshop, sign up to download this amazing publication I've put together, sign up for the checklist, sign up for the quiz, whatever it is. You put that on your website. You want to make sure that this list growth strategy is your number one focus for however long this is your list, for however long you can until you have something else. List growth should be your number one strategy all of the time in order to bring in ideal clients. So you also want to put that on your listing platforms. And what I mean by that is make sure you've updated if you're on Yelp, if you have a listing on Alignable, you can put it on any of your industry standards, like if you're on Psychology Today or House or any of those listing platforms. You might be in a directory like Innovation Women or NSA or something, Speakers Association. So make sure that list growth is your number one call to action. Of course, you want to put it on your socials. And one of the missed opportunities a lot of people have is on Instagram. where you only have that one place for a live link. Of course, some people use Linktree, that would be fine too, but you want to put your list growth strategy as your one URL. Sign up to receive my whatever, and make that your URL that you use in Instagram. Don't bring them to your main website, bring them to list growth, and then you can create a nurture sequence or a welcome sequence to tell them what it is that they need to know. Your website is great, but they're going to get there and maybe bounce off. Send stuff to their email. The first time somebody signs up for any of your freebies, right? Or nurture, anytime anybody signs up for one of your freebies, that email has an opportunity to get opened. We're seeing industry standard is over 80% versus a regular marketing email, which industry standard, well, it was 25%, and now it's down around 18% for an open rate. So keep that in mind, that your first email that goes out after someone signs up from your landing page is going to get opened. Make it good. Direct messages. Two things about a direct message. You want to send messages through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through private emails. And there's two categories here. One is you want to send a direct message to somebody who maybe could use your service, or hey, remember last time we were talking about how you didn't know how to create a landing page. Here's a download I just created. I thought you might like it. So send that to them through the direct message. The other category for direct messages is send it to somebody you know who will be an amplifier for you. So Lisa and I work a lot together. We bounce ideas off of each other all the time. If I have a new product or a new download, I might say to Lisa, you know what, here's my new landing page for this workshop I'm running. Would you please give it some love? And so she, knowing that she's a trusted collaborator, she will go and share it on her platforms too. So two there. And of course, email. You guys know I talk about email all of the time. Make sure that you're sending emails out, inviting people to invite others to grab that freebie or to let them know about it. So that went on. I got very excited about that one. That was a really good takeaway from yesterday's webinar about creating landing pages. All right, now I got to get back here.
Well, I know I just learned something, so thank you.
What did you learn, Lisa?
The Instagram URL, I thought that was really an interesting way to capture the information, because we all think website, get them there, and not about it as a list builder. So I thought that was really interesting. And the reminder to put it on our listing platforms, that I didn't think about it in that way. So that was really helpful. I always learn something listening to you, so I am grateful. So thank you.
Well, and the thing is too, it's so funny because I just wrote that down, that we probably in the Rise Together marketing group, we should probably talk about like quarterly reviews of our online listing sites. Like, when was the last time you updated your alignable? Like, we talk about LinkedIn a lot, Facebook, but there's those other ones. I update for my caterer, we update his Google My Business every week. So it's just, once a month at least, listing sites. I'm making that a list. Okay, so let me introduce you guys to my friend Lisa Dahl of Lisa Dahl Wellness. So excited that you're joining me today, Lisa. Let me read your official bio here. Lisa is a certified health and wellness coach, a workshop facilitator, and meal planning expert who specializes in, you guys will love this, being happy, healthy, and confident at any size. She teaches women how to create a healthy lifestyle through intuitive eating, adding movement that makes them happy, understanding the importance of sleep and stress, and finding gratitude. With Lisa Dahl Wellness, she combines nutritional coaching, accountability, and implementing one small change at a time to achieve long-term sustainability. So lately, I know Lisa has been building a whole body health membership community as well as conducting one-on-one coaching. There is so much more here. You know what, you guys, I'm going to put all of this in here because it's just so good. She's been doing this so well. What I love about Lisa's approach is that it's about, you know, your personal self and your intuitiveness and not looking at the other. When I asked Lisa what is her superpower, she said that her clients feel heard. And I'd love to ask you about that, Lisa. What do you mean when your clients feel heard, and how is that your superpower?
It's really important when, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. And I always love talking to you and learning from you. And this is just such a great privilege to be part of this community. So thank you. What I think about when I say that my clients feel heard is that it gives them the sense that it is about them. It's not about me or what I think is going on. It's reflecting back to them so that they hear what they're thinking. And that gives them the opportunity to say, yeah, that's right, and continue on. Or to correct me if I have gone off the rails and not hit it spot on, that it creates a safe space by saying, I want to hear you, and help them understand that it is about them. It is nothing to do with what I want for them. It's helping them understand what they want for themselves. My goal is to help them get to their goal. It is nothing to do about me. It is all about them. They are the experts on themselves. And it's helping them learn how to listen, trust, and respect themselves when they're being heard.
You know, that is a skill that is so valuable. I know my friend Joanne O'Neill talks a lot about active listening, and I see the power in it, right? Of really hearing. So when you're working with someone, and here's what I heard you say, because sometimes when someone says to me, let's say in business, what are your goals? Or in life, what are your goals? I don't even know sometimes. I know it, maybe I want things to be different. Maybe I don't want them to be different, right? But I think that we have to have some goals. Can you help people clarify what their goals are?
Yes. And I look at it as, what are your dreams? Because when you say dreams, you start to think bigger. Goals, all of a sudden you start to think, well, I need to do this, I need to do that. And then get to the why, because I work with a lot of people who seek me out because they want to lose weight. And the sad truth is that 95% of diets fail. You have not failed the diet. The diets are designed to fail. Our bodies are not designed to starve, because when we starve ourselves, our bodies will push back and they come back fierce and roaring. And 2/3 of the people that lose weight, not only do they gain their weight back, they gain additional weight. And just lost my focus. Um, Going back to the goals and the dreams is, how do asking the why. It's not necessarily about the weight. Why do you want to lose weight? Most people want to be more comfortable. Most people want to gain more confidence. Most people want to feel better in their own skin. We have been taught as a society that that number on the scale is the measure of success. And I help women break down that measure of success, because we have been led to believe that thin equals health, which gives us some sort of higher stature. How do we start to break down what we think is supposed to be the image of thin equaling health? Because we need to shift that paradigm, because it's not true. So I work with my clients to help them shift their mindset that weight is not a behavior. We can change actions. We can take actions that are going to help them make them feel better no matter what their weight is.
So let's talk about then, because Rise Above Noise for entrepreneurs, the difference between someone who's struggling, let's say, with their energy level or their self-esteem, and knowing how when you feel great, you present great and you attract more people. And I would imagine that if you're feeling the icks about yourself and not feeling great about yourself, it's harder to show up in all of your true value.
I refer to that as the ripple effect of self-care. How you take care of yourself, whether it's through food, movement, meditation, sleep, whatever you consider whole body health, and health means different things to different people. What fuels your energy? Do you need some space and grace from people? Do you need a 5-minute recharge by just walking outside in the sunshine? Because how you take care of you is how you're going to touch everybody during the day, whether we are talking about your children, your partners, your spouses, who you're interacting with on a business level. Where are you showing up for your clients? How are you showing up for your coaching calls? How present are you? How focused are you? What kind of energy? Are you crashing at 3 o'clock? That has a direct impact on how you are able to conduct your business, how you feel about yourself. Are you feeling confident in your own skin? Because the more confident you feel, the more positive energy and connection you're going to make with whoever it is that you are trying to attract.
That's exactly, and that's what I see as well. But let's talk about that 3 o'clock thing you just mentioned. Like, does everybody get that 3 o'clock? Like everybody? Or is it just like you mentioned it? So it must be you too, because
It's me
that's,
too. It's me too.
what do you do at 3 o'clock? I go for marshmallows.
Hey, if that works, that's all that matters. It's an experiment. What is it that works? And sometimes it's not that what happens at 3 o'clock, what has happened leading up to 3 o'clock? How have you been nourishing your body? How have you been moving? What has been your, how much brain drain have you been going through the day? I know that a 3 o'clock Zoom call is really hard for me at 3 o'clock. That it's, unless I am actively engaged, it's a really challenging space for me. So I try my best not to schedule things that I'm passively listening at that time, because that's the time of day where if I could just, in a perfect world, take a 10-minute power nap, that would be my time of day. So it's learning to understand, what are you eating? What is your energy level? How are you moving? And it takes an experimentation on how to get through that 3 o'clock. Do you need, a handful of nuts and something to perk you up? Food is not your enemy. How do you make peace with food and not think about it as I'm eating too much? It's emotional. Are you eating enough for lunch? What is that looking like? So it's not just this snippet in time. We need to back it up and see what's going on, because it all comes into play of what is happening.
I think so true. I love what you said, that it's not 3 o'clock, it's what you did up to 3 o'clock, right? Like all the things. And so now I'm making a mental note to myself that instead of going to the marshmallows, get down and do a little bit of yoga or something, right? Because I've been standing here since 8 o'clock in the morning. My dog thinks I'm nuts. Like just standing here talking into who knows, he doesn't know, she doesn't know what I'm talking into all day long, but I'm just standing still the entire day. And so I'm going to take this cue to maybe do a little bit more movement in the middle of the day. I have been trying to take my lunch outside to get a little bit of sunshine on my face, because the sun goes down so early now.
And those are great examples. Like at 3 o'clock, I try to just go to the mailbox because it's at the end of our street. So it's less than a 10-minute walk, except that it gets me out, it gets me moving, it gets me in the sunshine. There's nothing in that mailbox that I really need or want.
Yeah.
It's just a place, it's just something to go do. And we live in the woods, so I can see the trees, and it just gets me outside with fresh air and sunshine. And that is the best thing that I know I can do for me at 3 o'clock.
That's a good idea. I should go out and get the chicken's eggs at that time. That's a nice
Oh,
mix.
that sounds
It is
far more
nice.
interesting than getting my mail.
I know. They're so funny. They're hilarious, those girls out there. So what else? So tell me a little bit about your membership group, which I know has been supportive of a bunch of people, and it's still growing. I know that this is people looking for that kind of community. What's happening in that group?
That community it just warms my heart. I love the women who are part of the community, and it's really designed for people who are busy and you can't or don't have the funds to be able to do one-on-one coaching. And to be honest with you, to have that sense of community and support and connectiveness, especially in today's world where we're all so isolated, I see that it's really making a difference. We meet on, and I've created the schedule based around trying to be cognizant of people's schedules, whether you are managing a business, working 9 to 5. We meet on Tuesdays on Zoom from 12 until 12:45, even though I'm available until 1 o'clock. And that's lunchtime. Even though I don't want to see you multitasking, it's still a typical time of day where people can take a break, get together, and we talk about intuitive eating, which is learning to listen to your body, getting rid of the diet rules. We talk about self-care, self-compassion, body positivity, and Q&A. So we do that every Tuesday from 12 to 1. The first Wednesday of the month, we do virtual cooking together. And if you choose to cook with me at 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, you will have dinner done and ready on the table by 6:15 or 6:30,
Oh my
because we
goodness.
can cook together.
What did you make this week?
This past week, I did a pan-seared salmon with a lime dressing, and we did a butternut squash, apple, kale, quinoa salad.
Yum.
And based on those mix of ingredients, we also put together a quinoa breakfast bake for the next day. So you have breakfast for 3 or 4 days after that. And we did all of that in an hour. So I had a couple of people cooking, a couple of people just asking questions. And it's fun, it's community. I'm always talking about tips and tricks. I'm a former caterer, so meal planning is absolutely something that I do easily and well and love to share information about. So once a month we cook together. And then the other really great event that I do that everybody's involved with is something called Gratefulness Gatherings. I am a facilitator through an organization called gratefulness.org, and we come together, and it's about creating conversation on a themed topic of how to live gratefully day to day. So it's a little bit more meaningful, I shouldn't say more or better. It's a different way than creating a gratitude list. We're coming together, creating community, having conversation. How do we find the positives in a world that's really upside down, or in my opinion, upside down? So it's women who, it's no judgment, come share your voice, listen in a safe environment. What stays, what you share in this community stays in this community. And the unsolicited positive feedback that I'm getting just brings me great joy that my vision of what I wanted is really coming together. And membership is now open until Monday night.
Oh, you're closing the card on Monday.
I am. So we have a few spaces left.
Awesome. Oh, it just sounds wonderful. When I think about it, right, and you and I met because we were talking about different membership options and how can we serve, not only serve the people that we serve, but also serve what feeds us. And then what you just said about your, did you call it gratefulness or gratitude gatherings?
It's called Gratefulness Gatherings.
Gratefulness gatherings, that this was a vision you had, and that as entrepreneurs, we get to create what we want and what we need and what we see in the world happening. And I love that that's something you did, and to be able to do that in community. So when we were talking about our different membership models, like that was so important to you, was that people would come together around food and spend time, you know, in that very casual, it's like somebody hanging out at your kitchen, in your kitchen, right? Like everybody gathers in the kitchen for conversation. And then to have also these gratefulness gatherings, like you said, it's different than your gratitude journal, or, you know, it may be some, I know that there are a couple people I know that have, like we have accountability partners in Rise Together. There are people who have gratitude partners where each morning they text each other what they're grateful for that day. What a difference in the way you look at the world. And that's so wonderful that you're bringing that to
So,
our
and what's
world.
really nice is right now I'm offering a free mini series, which is my sneak peek into my whole body health community. So we already did the cooking portion. Tomorrow I'm doing an introduction to intuitive eating. And Sunday night at 7 o'clock, I am hosting a gratefulness gathering so that people can get a sneak peek of what we're doing in this community. And if it resonates with you, it's an easy way to decide that, hey, I want to be part of this amazing group.
Awesome. So good. This is what the world needs. And you guys, this is right. Like Lisa has created something to serve a need in her world. And the fact that I get to do the work that I do for heart-centered entrepreneurs, to be able to help them get their message out. I'll give you, may I use your mini series as an example of something we did in the
Absolutely.
Rise Together group? So in Rise Together, Lisa came and she said, I have this idea, you know, we're talking about lead generators and what can we give so that people can taste, you know, have a little taste of us and experience us. And so she said, I'm going to do 3 workshops or 4, I forget if it was 3 or 4. And it's going to be the cooking, the intro to intuitive eating, and the gratefulness gathering. And we were like, okay, that's great. And so people could sign up for any of those. And I said, what if you know, all of us came together, we were brainstorming, and we were like, what if you made it a mini series, like a free mini series? And that people can sign up for one or all of them, or show up for one or all of them. And the fact that our community helped you with that issue, right? And then of course you had the support of your daughter creating all of the assets to make it happen. And the trickle down, you talked about the ripple effect, but the trickle out, the trickle in, the ripple effect of having all of these ideas, I think makes a big difference, because a lot of people with digital marketing in particular think it's one and done. Okay, I've done my nurture sequence. Okay, I have a lead generator. Okay, I have a website. But the fact is that when you come together and do these mind mapping kind of things with other people, you're like, oh, I could tweak that a little, and I could bring that up to a little without reinventing everything. And I think it makes a big difference.
I would have never have put the pieces together about a mini series without that conversation with you.
Yeah.
It would have just gone right over my head. And and your group is so invaluable because I just want to focus on what I do. I don't want to spend hours going through books. It's not my jam. It's not what I love to do. And you make it so easy in the discussions that we have once a week and the information on your platform, that if I need something, I have a go-to, and there's a group of women who are all in the same mindset on how to make these things a little bit easier, how to get them done more effectively. And your new nurture sequence that you have coming up is amazing. When I was reading through it, it was just like, check, I need that, check, I need that, check, I need this. Right there, done for you, easy and on a plate.
On a plate,
And
right?
Everything goes to food.
I love it.
But it's so important to have the resources and, to have this component through you. And I'm grateful for my daughter who does, anything that looks beautiful on my website or graphics. She has just absolutely turned everything into magic. I'll send information out about my stuff and I'll get emails back saying, who did your graphics? Who did this? Who did that? I'm like, wait, what about intuitive eating?
Right? But it makes a difference, right? It makes a difference how you show up. When you show up in your, I mean, certainly it has to look beautiful. I am not a graphic designer, although I know a lot of them. It makes a difference. And when people are when you're out there now, people recognize. Like I look at what you've done with your stuff and I follow Amy Porterfield like it's my job. And I'm almost like, you know what? It's kind of the same thing. You in the kitchen and doing your cooking and doing the show. It's awesome. Well, this has been a great mutual admiration session for us.
We all need each other. We can't do it alone.
I'm going to drop in the Facebook chat and in the show notes, I will drop the link to your membership group and also to your free thing coming up.
So I have a free self-care toolbox,
Okay,
which is a list of ideas as well as a space for you to create your own personal self-care toolbox, because self-care is about what's important to you, as well as a link to sign up for the intro to intuitive eating tomorrow. And if you're interested in the membership, we can put that in there as well.
Okay, let me put those in here. I'm doing the self-care, but that didn't work. Hold on. That link was wonky. There you go. When you, no, it was just a wonky thing there. That was awesome. All right, so I put that in there, you guys. If you're interested in learning more, Lisa has a lot of free offerings. She's got the free toolbox, free things coming up. Highly recommend. This has been awesome. And also, yes, to all of that. But also what I really wanted to drive home with today is that when you feel better, you show up better, and then all things are possible. And that community support to do so is right there for you. And the membership card closes on Monday, but as I recall, it's a fairly low price. What are you charging right now?
$39 a month.
That's like $10 a week, less than $10 a week, and you get a recipe.
And you get journal entries. There's so much education and information and sharing, support, motivation, and you come away feeling good about you, and if you're struggling with something, it helps give you the tools on how to make things a little bit better. And how you show up for you is how you're going to show up for everything and everybody in your space and world, and especially your business. We all need to take care of us to make our businesses thrive.
Beautiful, right? And how you show up. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.